Well, hello everybody, welcome back to the channel, and today I thought it was time to dive into another discussion video. So, the one, I'm titling this video, It's Reasonable to Ask If It's All About You. And that might be a bit of a negative title, but if you hear me out, I think it'll make sense to most people. In the world out there, there's this certain jadedness and suspicion and just overall negative view on when somebody thinks that a situation is all about them. You know, it's, I guaranteed everybody, no matter who they are, no matter how kind they are, no matter how well-meaning they are, has had this accusation thrown at them before. It's used as drama points in films and TV shows. Hell, it's probably even been used on a look after your mental health ad on TV or YouTube or something like that, you know, showing a little short skit and saying, oh, this is how your friends or your family or somebody that knows you in some way might react to something you're telling them, so that's why you should go see a counselor instead, or something like that. And don't get me wrong, there's people that do need to hear that and that do abuse this concept, and you know, they call them, what do they call them, narcissists or whatever. And I hate even using that word because it's so overused now. But anyway, there are people like that, and there are times, which I'll address right off the hop, there are times when you shouldn't ask or behave as if a situation is all about you, such as like somebody is very, very ill or has just experienced some sort of tragic event or something like that. You know, you should not be making a situation like that about you at all. It should all care should be towards that person. And if you do even honestly made a mistake of saying something that was not right for the situation, you should just, you know, you should shut up. You should take that criticism. You should not make it about you at all. But like most things, the pendulum always swings too far in the opposite direction, in the sense where, you know, the morale isn't good at work, or the morale isn't good at a public situation you walk into. Somebody's just not having a good day. You know, nothing tragic, not terminal illness or anything like that. Like, they're just simply not having a good day. Like we all have bad days sometimes. Or, you know, someone's ranting about something that somebody said to them that offended them a lot or hurt their feelings, or they disagree with in some way. And something that you say, they perceive as you turning it around onto yourself, and they sort of lash out on you, saying, this is you'll hear things like, this isn't about you, or you need to listen and instead of put your 2 cents in all the time, or you know, oh, how nice is it that you turn somebody else's misfortune into something about you, and the list goes on. There's different things, there's different ways that people lash out at you about that. And I think that how I do these, and I'm sorry to cut off the sort of monologue I was in, but how I do these discussion videos is there are certain common things that you hear, and a lot of it is taken from self-improvement, because if you watch my channel, you know I watch, and I'm a huge supporter of like the YouTube self-improvement podcasts and that. And there are certain things that are generally agreed upon, and, you know, improvement slash wellness community, and also just amongst people at large, that seems to be just 100% agreed upon without addressing any of the nuances that come with it. And a lot of times there isn't really much nuance, it's just, it is what it is. But, and I usually give it at least a week of thinking about it before I do a discussion video, because there's often these things that I come across in life or in the media or whatever, and I think it's not all as it's presented. There's some other ways to look at it. There's some other things going on that aren't being addressed. And I'll give it a little while, I'll let it roll around in my brain, and if it's still there, if there's still something gnawing at me that there's more that people are failing to mention in this concept, then I'll go on and do a discussion video about it. So, I find, me personally, and, you know, you're just going to have to believe me because you might know me from my videos, but you don't know me personally. But I'm not a selfish person. I'm not somebody who you know, gets off on turning situations that are other people's onto me. I'm not a narcissist, any of that, those sorts of things, at least to any higher degree than everybody is. But I don't have any sort of, you know, condition or deep problem with these things any more than just the some of the uglier traits of all human beings, I guess, right? But, you know, I think it's reasonable to ask if it's all about you in a lot of these other situations, because if I'm at work and the morale isn't good, I'm in a public place, and I can tell people aren't having a good time there. Something's happened, something's wrong. Or somebody's having a bad day, and they're either telling me about it or I can tell. I have this sort of paranoia that comes over me. That's like, the last time I was here, did I do something or say something that is causing people, that has screwed up the system or has screwed up the situation in some way, or has caused hurt feelings towards somebody else? At this moment when I'm in here, did something that I said to somebody, even though to me it was totally normal and casual, or did something I interact with, did I cause some sort of problem in some way, shape, or form? And a lot of times, you know, if you outright ask that question or address that, you will hear that it has nothing to do with you, and they might also add that little jab in there by being like, oh, well, it's not all about you, you know, or like there's other people are going through other things too, or other stuff is happening around here. And it's like, yeah, okay, but you know what? I am 100%, like, I'm a good helper. I enjoy helping people. I believe that you should help people. I believe that if you walk into a situation where something's not right, you should do, even if all you can do is a little tiny bit, you should do at least a little bit to try to improve the situation for other people. It's just my philosophy. It's how I've been raised and trained. And most of the self-improvement stuff I watch is, you know, in representation of that. So I believe that. But I find that I can help. So as soon as I know that nobody's mad at me, I didn't cause a problem for anybody else, you know, my money and my finances, if it's at a workplace or something like that, aren't in jeopardy. My relationships with the people around me, whether it's friends, family members, co-workers, a romantic partner, if there happens to be one at the time, as soon as I know that that isn't at jeopardy and I'm not the cause of a problem, I can immediately help, like almost 100 times better than if I don't really know what's going on. You know, the aura's in the air that something's not right. I can tell people are having a bad time and I don't know what the fuck's going on. Then this paranoia comes on me, and maybe that is selfish, who knows, but I think it's 100% reasonable. And maybe it's higher for me than other people, but I think it's 100% reasonable for this paranoia to come over you, being like, did I do something wrong? Did I screw this up? You know, are people only behaving this way as soon as I walked in because I said something or did something the last time I was here? That is, the people are not into my vibe at this moment, right? And if it is, then, you know, whatever it needs to happen, I will pay for that. I will apologize. I will do what I need to do to make it right, to help out whoever I may have hurt, and I will do all the work I can to rectify my wrongdoing. Still, if it legitimately has nothing to do with me, then I always ask whether people view it as rude or not right or narcissistic or whatever. I always ask if it's about me, not in some sort of egotistical way, but simply because I know 110% that as soon as I know that none of my stuff's in jeopardy and that I didn't do something wrong and that I'm not the cause of these people's pain and I don't have to repent, like I don't have to repent anything, the bad things happening have nothing to do with me, I can immediately kick into a way higher drive of help and aid and support and caring and everything for the situation. And like I said, I'll repeat once more, that doesn't mean that all of a sudden I'm an asshole if I find out that it was me that caused the problem. It's like, then it's not necessarily about helping. It's not necessarily about being of aid to this situation. It's about, I know that's sort of a biblical strong word, but it's just the word that's coming to my mind right now. It's about, like, repent. It's like, I am sorry. I apologize. What can I do to make it better? And unless it's totally an unreasonable complaint or an unreasonable thing, and then it's like, okay, well then I will fight. Then it's like, and I'm not talking about physically here, I'm talking metaphorically. Then I will defend myself. I will state my case on how I'm right then. But as soon as I know that the situation isn't either one of those two things, and it actually legitimately has nothing to do with me, it has something to do with something else in the system, or some other person that was there, or some other situation going on, I can instantly help to such a higher degree. And if I am unsure and paranoid, I will still try to help because I believe in helping, but it'll be clunky. It won't be as good, it won't be as high of quality. So just keep that in mind. You know, you might get some criticism, you might have some people lash out at you, but I think it's 100% reasonable to ask if a bad situation is about you. And if it's not, I guarantee you, you will be able to help better. And if it is, you will know right away, and you should encourage and try to coax out, coach out proper communication, and the situation will be all the better for it. So I hope that was somewhat informative to you, and it's just something to think about, something that's been rolling around on my mind, and I'd love to hear your feedback and your thoughts on this concept. And I thank you very much for watching. Hope you have a good day. Please come back for more.